Okay. Okay, hello friends. How's it going? Let's see who is here. I see a bunch of people. One Druckman, Krelbit, Hate Washer number 255 reporting in for duty. Hello. Lana, Dave. Hello. How's it going, Dave? LFK, Peaches, good day. Soran, hello. Nachos, Hanker, Park, thank you so much for the 19 months. Thank you. How's it going? Shanghai Twist, hi, lightning counter. hello. Shanghai Twist. New janitor badge got approved. Oh, nice. Thanks, Drew. Sick. Let's see. Adriel, hello. Why was people not here before? I'm not sure. It might have been disabled.
Just want to hear TTS say hello, Daigo.
Oops. Oh. Peaches. Hello. Thank you so much for your 27 months. Hepecon 안 나와? What do you mean? Raider Noise, Wise Donkey, hello. I have to get a quick haircut?
Bonjour,
okay.
Daigo.
Bonjour, Juantagon. Thank you so much for the 9 months, buddy. Alright, how's it going, everybody? How's your weekend? I don't think I've seen you since before then, right? Big Macs and Onions, how's it going? Welcome. Good, and yours? My weekend was pretty good. Also, is it like brighter in here? Hold on. Oh, I see. It is brighter because I accidentally increased the brightness of my light here. Okay, there you go. That's better. Actually, it's a little too there. That's fine. All right. So I'm doing all right. I had a good weekend. I was out in Nashville. Tennessee. Having a barbecue and hot chicken. As well as meeting folks at the Nashville Mechanical Keyboards Meetup. I got the red Kobo Filco. Nice. I saw the pictures. How's the South? It was hot. It was a hot weekend over at Nashville, but it was hot just because it's like a summer heat wave, more so than it was just hot because that's the normal in Tennessee. But it was pretty humid. It was actually less humid than I expected it to be. I expected it to be kind of like Florida, but I guess it's a little bit more inland, so it's not as humid. It was okay. I mean, it was still very sticky, very humid, very muggy, more than here at times, but it was a bit more tolerable than I thought it would be. It was still a very hot weekend though. It was a good time though. Are you from Tennessee? Cause you're the only 10 I see. Yo, all about the paper boy. What's up, dude? 9 months prime. Thank you. So yeah, Nashville was good. The mechanical keyboard meetup there was like 200 people-ish, I would say. Maybe less, maybe fewer, maybe like 150. Pretty good crowd. A lot of artisan community folks. Because the organizer is pretty big into artisans, and a lot of the people, like some artisan makers, were attending there. Like Hello Caps was there, BG Caps, Rubber Hose, Bogan Caps came out all the way from Australia. Level Caps was there, and then we had like Hoffenmeister from Drop. Yeah, a lot of folks were there. MechanicalKeywords.com is located. They're based in Tennessee, so they're there as well. So yeah, a lot of people were there. It was really nice. KLC also, Kevin, do you guys know Kevin Lim from KLC? He flew out from, he was doing a business trip in San Francisco, I heard, and he traveled all the way to Nashville to come to show some boards and some stuff. So he had like the dollars, he had some of the different keycaps that they've been selling, like the artisan keycaps. There also was the Thika by the Rubber Hose and Pop Smoke Dances Designs. The Thika Rubber Hose board was also there. They're unbuilt, but they're there. Some prototypes. But yeah, pretty cool. Rubber Hose and Bogan Caps were doing a collab while they were together. They did a knee sculpt. And then they also but yeah, it was a good time. Really good time. That photo with two really tall dudes beside is my favorite photo. So cute. Oh yeah. So for that photo, for those who haven't seen that photo, let me pull it up. It should be in the Meetups channel of my Discord server. There are some albums and some pictures posted over there. But basically like you know, like there's also like Meetup album probably posted in the Meetup Discord server, which I'm not in. Actually, I happen to not be in it. But yeah, the photo that Peaches is probably talking about is this one. So I'll just show some pictures, like some random pictures here that I took. And then these are some of the photos that Quappa took as well. So I'll share that over in the channel. Have a good stream, man. Sounds good. Bogan going up to Canada now? Yeah, I heard he's going to see Prime Cabs. Pretty cool. So let's see, does this work? Alright, cool. So yeah, here is the photo that I have with, this is, so on the left side here, on the left here, that's 3-ton Jack. Ivan, that's me. And that's Hoffmanmeister from, you know, now he worked at Drop, but he's also one of the senior moderators at Keycap. On Keycap, so they're both like 6'5", 6'8" or so. I believe Hoffman's like 6'8". I'm only like 5'6", 5'7", so I look pretty short. Yeah. Who's the guy in the middle? Some rando that you might know, but if you don't recognize him, it's okay. It's just a nobody. I've seen this scene somewhere. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, and then that's me and Hoffman. There's the mechanicalkeyboards.com table over there. Then this is me and Kevin Lim. This is Kevin Lim from KLC. This is BG Caps, Bernie. He's BG Caps. He does a few sculpts like the Captured and the Trapped. This is Mangoes, Drew. My friend Drew, I've known him for a long time. This was the Level Caps collection. The Level Caps catalog on the left, and his personal collection on the right here. Level Caps. I didn't manage to take a picture with him. This is some stuff that Drew, Mangoes brought. As well as, I think... Oh, no, wait. No. This is Coffee Crumbles' collection, I think. Yeah, this is Coffee Crumbles' collection. That was a KLC table over here. There's the Thika Rubber Hose boards on the left, the Dallas on the right, the Bebe by Duck Bay is also there. Some artisan cases here with a bunch of the caps that they sell. The Lin tray was also there. I got to see the Lin keycap tray. Really nice, very well stacked, really nice, fits in the band rolls as well, like the original band rolls after the redesign. I mean, so like not the boxes, but the band rolls. Pretty nice. And then here's some close-ups for the Thika board. Oh, M Pitman, hello, my friend Matt. How's it going? How was the sweaty place? It was really nice meeting you, dude. And I'm glad that we didn't die and like some of the others having having hot chicken. Some people got like the poltergeist version of the hot chicken, and that was insane. Like they were dying, like you could see tears coming out of their eyes, and they looked like they were going to, like they were just about ready to go to the bathroom. Yeah, don't get Nashville hot or poltergeist level heat when you're in Nashville, okay? Nashville hot chicken's very hot. I got medium, and that was already pretty hot. So yeah. This is a Nephilin's collection, and Alhex was also there. We see 3 Tinjack's collection down there in the back. This was Palette Mash's collection. They have a lot of Ashes themed stuff. This was the table with, this is a Bat Chat's collection, Rubber Hose. There's a Hello's collection. Some of R. Mendes's collection. Some of Bogan's collection, Arium's collection. Pretty cool. And then here, like this is an album here, I'll just post it in the channel here. Just a bunch of pictures of that Quappa took during his time there with his phone. And I believe he also took some pictures with his camera, so you can check it in the album there. I already posted it to the chat. But yeah, so Nashville, that was Nashville. It was really nice. We didn't last at the sweaty place for more than 10 minutes. That's too bad. I'm so glad I kind of just went back home, to be honest, Matt. Like, just to rest up. So, yeah, I was pretty tired. But yeah. Also, it wasn't, like, the scene for me anyway. Was the flight to and from okay? Kupo asks. It was good. It was good. Amarade, hello. How's it going? Ika's Twitch, hello. How's it going? Nashville hot versus Thai spicy. What the heck? Oh, I think my Google Assistant's going crazy. But yeah, I think Nashville hot and Thai spicy are pretty close. Kinda. But like, it was really hot. It was really hot. Ring of Fire later. Oh yeah, the next day was something that I wouldn't look forward to. Are you like bad with spice? I'm okay. Like I can. So the thing with spice for me is like I can't do like long-term spice. Like I can't do like spice that like lasts a very long time. Just because like I can't. I don't like that flavor lasting a long time. Like kind of kills the rest of the flavor of the food for me. So I tend to just not dab too deeply into the spicy stuff. I can tolerate it. But I don't dab in it too much. I just do it occasionally. Like I can do like a Sichuan meal or like, you know, yeah, like spicy curry or something, you know, occasionally, or like, you know, like hot wings or something. But I'll definitely try not to do too much because also my stomach gets pretty upset. So yeah. Champagne Stevie's, hello. Northern Bjorn Inc. What's your opinion on the Monarchy standard? I don't have an opinion yet. We'll check it out shortly. You missed 3:30 a.m. tacos? Yeah, I did. Matt, I actually went to Velvet Tacos afterwards. The day after we went to Velvet Tacos, I had to try their tacos, so we went there the day after before I had to leave. But that was pretty good. Those tacos were pretty good though. Did you show the picture with you and the two giants? Yeah. With me and Hoffman and 3 Tin Jack. Yeah, I did. Good call. They're tasty. Yeah. I had some of the pork ones that are really yummy. OFKB, hello. Also, Matt, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Spicy is okay. Hot, no. You should be able to taste the food. Yeah, that's how I feel about like spicy or hot food in general. It's like if it's too much and it just masks the rest of the flavor of the food, it's not good. So that's the main thing for me. Hi Diego, nice mechanism in the box, thank you. That's one way to describe keyboards. Alright. So like here's all this stuff I brought back from Nashville. So I actually did not win any giveaways, but some of the makers there were very kind. So I like won some, and also like this one was a raffle pick that I just picked up there. This was from Al Hex. He like sculpted and cast these FN key sculpts. Pretty cool. And then that's the Ice Cream by Tika Tika caps, T caps. And then all of these are forest keys as B stocks. Just B stock caps that he was giving away in like this big crate. He just had this big crate with keycaps. Some of them I actually had to trim the sprues and whatnot. I had to like grab some of the sprues and tear them off with like or chop them off with like flush cutters. But yeah, so these are some forest key stuff, and yeah, Alhex, Tika Man, Ice Cream, and then this is the new sculpt by Bogan and Rubber Hose. I forget what it's called. Is it? I don't know what it's called. But it probably has something to do with bad trips or something. But yeah. Oh, it's called Back Cunt? Okay, I see. There we go. So I guess it's called Back Cunt. Yeah. I picked up an ice cream magnet. Very cool sculpt. Oh yeah. Tika actually has chops for sculpting. Really cool sculpt for sure. Yeah, but Beat to Death is the look at the butt. You go in the butt. Oh yeah. I've seen this. I thought it was just a Maker's Mark, but I didn't realize it was the name of the sculpt. Back Hunt. Pretty cool. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. Other than that, there are some mail that came in the meantime, some keyboard stuff. I also got like a personal item in the mail recently. I got a new wallet here. This is a new wallet from Ashland Leather Company. They're from Chicago, and basically it's just leather. This is like their B stock sort of wallet. It's just like similar to like a bifold, but it's actually like a money clip. So like you can like clip in like cash in the middle, and then it holds cards on both sides. Yeah, so pretty nice. It's not bad. I actually was looking for a wallet that had access to the cards on the outside rather than having to open the wallet. So that's why I got this one. But yeah, I highly recommend Ashland Leather Company stuff. Really, really nice. The leather is genuine, and the colors are really pretty. Definitely highly recommend their stuff. I mean, this wallet was like, it was still like, you know, like $80, something like that. So not like the cheapest wallet out there. But definitely recommend their stuff because the leather quality is fantastic, and I think this will break in really nicely, and it will show really nice aging over time. So I really like it. Yeah, I wanted to go for something that was not like so that's first of all, my criteria were I can carry some cash but not too much cash, and I can carry enough cards because I have a variety of cards that I use for like travel or for like daily use, groceries, etc., and also like my IDs and stuff. And then finally, something that was not your typical trifold or bifold. Like this does bulge a little bit, right? Like this does have a bit of thickness to it, but even then it's not too bad. But yeah, I definitely did not want to go for a typical bifold, so that's why I went for this. Any RFID protection? I don't think so. That said, I don't really recall the last time I've heard of people having issues with RFID kind of related incidents, so I don't care. Also, like nowadays, like people use chips and stuff, so I think it's fine. We can buy the whole of Argentina with those dollars. Yeah, this is called a Capone money clip, by the way. Anyway. Alright, so other than that, this came in. This is the standard from Monarchy. So this did not come in directly from Monarchy. This was actually the same board that was displayed at the Toronto meetup a week or so ago. So this is the Series 1 standard from Monarchy, right? Monarchy.co here. So this was sent to me by Apex Keyboards. So this was the same one that Apex Keyboards had in Toronto. So it's already been open and used and all that kind of stuff. So the packaging inside might be a little messy, but don't mind it too much. Designed in Singapore and Malaysia. And then here's like the what's included. It says bluish pink with red switches. I assume Cherry MX reds. And then what's included: keyboard, cable, accent keys, switchboard, keycap holder, and user
Hello,
manual.
Daigo. How similar are Wind Clan 8 and Mersuit if you tried both?
Oh, hello, Ithrak. How's it going? How similar are the Windex 98? I have not tried the Windex keyboard, but I remember Mr. Alex built some of the Windex stuff, and he really liked it. If I recall correctly, I mean, also the Mr. Suit is a bit different too. Like, the Mr. Suit is a TKL, so first of all, I think the layouts are a little bit different, right? I think the Windex 98 is not a TKL. But the Mr. Suit, if you build it without the foam at all, it has these like per key flex cuts that like really sink in when you type on it, so you'll feel a lot of vibration. So if you don't like that, use some of the foam in there, especially like the mid plate to PCB foam. For the Windex, I would say like apply the kind of like the same principle, but I don't think the Windex has like the same kinds of cuts on the PCB, so I don't think it should be nearly as flexible as a Mr. Suit when you build it without the foam at all. Both of them should have a very characteristic foamy sort of sound when you build it with all the foam in, especially when you put the PE foam and the mid plate foam and the case foam and everything. But the layouts are different, so inherently they are going to differ a little bit. I mean, I'm assuming also like the placement of the weight and things like that will probably matter. So I've only tried the Mr. Suit, which I liked a lot. Like with and without the foam, it's both sound pretty good. That said, without the foam, I would say, like, for example, if you take out a lot of the foam and you have a lot of these flex cuts or whatever, a lot of that energy will dissipate through these cuts, so the vibration that happens through these cuts, and so a lot of the sound will go away. So it'll be a lot more muted than you think. So if you don't like a very quiet sound, then maybe, you know, you can either tape them shut, or if you can just use foam to make up for it. The PCBs appear to have the same flex cuts. Okay, I'm only asking for typing feel. I'm assuming if the both have cuts, they're both going to be pretty flexible. Especially if you built without a foam, and assuming they play same plate material, like let's say like polycarb or aluminum, like a full plate. Yeah, half plate immediately is going to make a big difference because it chops, you know, that whole middle part. It becomes plateless. So, but it depends on whether the foam is there or not. Like the foam is really going to make a big difference in typing feel. Around key flex cuts, I see. Do you see the folding PCB outlapse mate? Yeah, the Link 65. Yeah, I saw that. Skip outlapse IMO. I don't have any outlapse boards personally, and I haven't really had the chance to review any of their boards like before their release, so I don't have as much insight to them. Yeah. Alright, so let's open up the standard here just to kind of show you what it is like. So open it up here. The packaging inside is like this kind of recyclable paper. And I mean, obviously it's a little bit ripped and stuff because of transit and whatnot. But here, this is the bluish pink Monarchy standard. It's a very like bright kind of pink. It's a very like bright and cute pink here. As you can see, it has no seams on the side. The USB port is there in the center on the back. But it's a very cute pink. They have these semi-cylindrical feet at the bottom on the four sides here. And the bottom here is in all white. Has a Monarchy logo engraved in the middle. And then it says standard here in the middle, Series 1. Oops, sorry. With the serial number and the model. It's also Bluetooth compatible with 1,000 milliampere per hour battery, and you know, USB 5 volts as well. Okay, off to bed. Bye bye. Okay, Soren, have a good night. Sorry I didn't catch you earlier in the day. Alright, we have a keycap puller over here. We have some stickers. We have some of the replacement keycaps here. So the replacement keycaps are pretty simple. They're just like command or alt keys, for example, like if you need it. So for example, right now I think it's in the Mac configuration. So it has the alt keys here and the Wind keys here. And then there's 3 different accents. There's one in the bluish pink. There's one in that like royal purple or whatever. and then one in, I think it's black, but I can't be sure. Why switch buffering on my end? You can try reducing the resolution. Is blush pink? Oh, not bluish. My bad. Blush pink. Yes, my bad. I keep reading bluish for some reason. Yeah. That's my bad. There's a quick start guide here, as you can see. Basically, it shows you what's included. You can turn on the device by flipping the switch at the bottom, and you can also use it wired or wireless. So right now it's technically on, but I believe turning on is this way, but right now it's not paired. So there's that. And then you can actually pair it using this. Press function and P. LED 1 will display the. Oh, maybe it's actually probably ran out of battery while it was sitting. But anyway, yeah. So that's the idea. Let's see. We can charge it too. Okay, so there's like instructions here. There's a cable here. This is just a USB C to C cable. USB C to C cable. So if you don't have a USB C port, you're gonna have to have a USB A to C or C to A adapter, which is not included in this. Okay, let's try it wired anyway. Okay, it lights up. Very nice. Okay, how do I switch it? Is it on Windows mode right now, or is it on Mac? Let's see, what settings is it on? I think right now it's on Mac. So let's see. Press this with any of these keys. O, switch to Mac OS layout. Wait, how do I switch to Win key? It should be the same, right? Oh no, it's W. Okay. So let's switch it to Windows mode. Okay. Alright, there, it's switched over. The keyboard looks really cool, but I kind of wish the LEDs were not so visible on the case. It's not too bad if you're just sitting from here. Like, if I'm just sitting from here, right? Like, the LEDs are not that bright. They're not as bright. I mean, it looks brighter when you see it from above, of course, like the overhead cam. F-row placement? Oh yeah, it basically has the same kind of style as it would for like the... This is like the compressed like F13 style, I guess. So that's why it's like this. But instead you have no key here and you have the LEDs instead. LED should have had the field placement above the keys in the nav cluster. Oh, like here, right? Yeah, I do think LEDs here would have worked just fine. Like 1, 2, 3, or like 1, 2, something like that would have been okay as well. Yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree the LED placement could have been here too, instead of here. I do think it's a pretty big space for just LEDs. But maybe they had a reason for it. Yeah. And yeah, split right shift, I assume to add the function. Although, I don't really recall the last time anybody ever used scroll lock. So, I don't know. I personally kind of feel like long right shift and the function over here at the scroll lock would have been fine. Who uses scroll lock or pause anyway? Or function here? Function here or here would have been okay in my opinion. I use scroll lock, sir? Wait, for what? For what? What do you use scroll lock for? It does something in Excel. I mean, I know it does stuff in programs, but I don't really know that many people who actually use it actively. Nothing, I just like to press it. Okay. Well then, alright. Alright, let's give it a test then. Let's just try typing on it. Just like stock, completely stock. I have done no mods there. This is the first time I see it even. So let me switch it over here. Alright, so this is the Monarchy standard with Cherry MX Reds. So let's just give it a shot, just like completely stock. These are Cherry Reds, pretty sure. Let me take out some of the keycaps, maybe. Pretty sure these are MX Reds, though. Yes, these are Cherry MX Reds on a polycarbonate plate. You know, whatever the standard configuration of the Monarchy standard is going to be this polycarb plate where there's these gaskets on the inside. I haven't seen the interior at all, so I can't tell you much about it. But there are stock Cherry MX Reds here. I believe they do use cherry style stabilizers, so they do use PCB mount cherry stabilizers, PCB mount clip-in stabilizers for that matter. Pretty nice. And of course we have these PVT double shot keycaps, cherry profile. So that's kind of nice. Are they real cherry clip-ins? Yeah, they appear to be cherry clip-ins, authentic cherry clip-ins. So here is the can't wait for the stock versus modded comparison clips. I don't think I'm gonna be modding it because I'm just gonna be just showcasing in stock so that people can check it out as it is. Might take it to the New York meetup as well. Alright. This is stock Cherry MX Reds on the Monarchy standard. That's okay. That's actually pretty good. Even stock, I think that's pretty good. The spacebar sounds decent. I think like obviously like you can hear the dryness of the stock switch. And you can definitely hear a little bit of ping as well. That's coming in maybe from the keyboard as well as from the switches. But I think for a stock that's better than most things I've heard. Like I'm pretty sure that Leopold stock is kind of similar to this too, if it had Cherry MX Red. So they do probably lube a little bit of the stabs in the factory, but so does Leopold and other places. So, but it's kind of wait. Actually, I can't tell. Actually, I can't quite see any grease on this. I can't quite see any grease on the stabs. So I don't see any lube on the stabs right now. So they're, I think they actually might be completely stock. It's pretty good though. This has Bluetooth, right? Yes, it does. It does have Bluetooth mode. I currently don't have it on Bluetooth mode yet though. But yeah, that sounds pretty good. All right, here's some of the. Here's just going to go over the mods. That sounds pretty good. That actually sounds really good for stock. I mean, there is some ticking. There definitely is some ticking. I mean, I do think the tightness of PVT keycaps like kind of helps here, like the double shot caps here. So because sometimes like the PVT caps kind of have like this nice tightness that kind of keep things snug in place and like in place. That could be helping a little bit in the stabs here. Whereas some of the ABS like OEM stuff that I've seen out there is kind of loose. But like it sounds pretty good. Stock. Imagine they clip the legs in the factory. I don't know. I mean, I actually don't know how to open this. So I imagine opening this requires some work. I actually don't see any screws here either. So yeah. Oh, I do see some screws. Okay, never mind. Yeah, you can definitely open it. I think there is a, pretty sure that there's a warranty seal. They do have some warranty seal kind of stickers here. But I do see some like screws here and there. Like there's some screws, I think over here. No, here. Yeah, I see some screws here and there that you could probably undo to open the board up. But yeah. Yeah, but I mean, obviously this is not meant to be opened. But yeah, that's how kind of how it is. It's completely stock. I mean, like, if you really want me to open this, I could ask and maybe open it next time. But yeah, I do see a few screws over here. Like, I think there's probably a screw here, and there's some stickers here to prevent me from tampering with it. Yeah, I mean, it does appear to be cherry clip-in stabs, as you can see here. So yeah, and I don't see any grease on there. Let me see if I can grab a pair of tweezers here to help. But I don't see any grease over there. So I don't know. Their stickers are covering the screws? Yeah, I know the stickers are covering the screws. But yeah, I think for stock this is really nice. Seamless, USB-C here and everything. USB-C to C is also available. For stock, this is honestly pretty good. 7U bottom row. What else? Yeah, all that stuff. It's pretty good. I honestly think that it's a pretty decent deal for the price, and like what it offers is really good. I mean, for keycaps and all included. Of course, like if you're not a fan of the layout, like it's not for you. But other than that, I think it's pretty solid. Yeah, I think out of the now it's I think out of the keyboards out there that are you know, kind of like all in one, right? And you can just buy kind of like off the shelf, right? In the keyboard community right now, like some of the recent ones like the NK like 65 or NK87, like entry editions, or some of the other stuff like, you know, available like from KD fans or some of the newer makers like Wuche Studio and some others, right? This is a really good offering. Like I honestly think for the price, this offers a very good deal. The keycaps, so I believe these keycaps might be the first iteration of their keycaps, where they have a little bit more roughness, a little bit they have a bit of texture to them. But I do believe these are similar to the black ones that we had on the first Series 1 keys, because they did make these keycaps before the new ones released, the new ones that they sent out. But they have very sharp dye sublimation here. The dye sublimation is really good. I mean, not dye sublimation. The double shotting is really good. My bad. Double shotting is really good. And honestly, they look pretty close to like the Leopold double shot ones. So they're authentic cherry profile because they do have the recessed stem and everything. They do have a recessed stem here, and yeah. But the double shotting here, the legends look really crisp. And yes, the LEDs do kind of sit just right in the smack dab in the middle between the F12 and the print screen, and it's a pretty large gap between the two. So definitely like a design choice that they decide to make. But if you don't like that, then you know it's too bad. I don't really think that they planned on redesigning that part just yet, as they have already released a working product. But yeah. I'm sure they thought of different ideas and whatnot, but they decided to go for this instead. But yeah, the case itself is really nice. Like these two parts sit pretty much flush. The bump-ons right here. There's a little bit of a taper here, as you can see here. There's a little bit of a taper here to the side profile. It's very nice. It's very gentle, and it's a nice contour. It's a nice shape. It's not very hard to grab because it's not very heavy. I would say this is probably just above 1 pound and some. Probably like 1.5 pounds or something like that. Not even. But yeah, not very heavy, even with keycaps on and everything. It's an all plastic construction pretty much. But pretty sturdy. Like it doesn't seem to have like extraneous sounds. Like you don't hear a lot of rattling in there if I shake it or anything like that. So overall, seems pretty good. It is a convenient spot for the indicators. Yeah. It is definitely a convenient spot for the indicators. That's for sure. But anyway, I mean, let's see. I could try pairing mode here, or I'm not sure if it's charged enough. Okay. Oh, yeah, there we go. Let's see. Where's my Bluetooth adapter here? Bluetooth device. All right, there. The keyboard paired. The keyboard paired successfully. There we go. Very nice. That's pretty cool. It also has, so it does have Bluetooth mode. I can just turn it off here, and it stops working. I can turn it back on here, and it starts working right away. How's the Bluetooth latency? It doesn't seem too bad. Let's check the, like, I mean, you can just like see me here like typing, for example. it pretty much doesn't seem any different from regular connection. So pretty good. I mean, I can open up like switch hitter here as well, and you can see like it's like I can get keystrokes as fast as like, you know. But yeah, it seems pretty responsive. So gamers will say there's delay. I mean, I'm sure everyone always argues that wireless is slower, so that I can see the argument being made. And then you can just plug it in and it converts to wired mode, and boom. And I think that's the indicator for charging. So that's that. But yeah, pretty sweet. So yeah, that's the Monarchy standard. I'll probably be taking this to the New York City Meetup. So you'll probably see it there. So that's in September, pretty soon, in a few weeks. So you'll see it there if you're going. All right, so that's the Monarchy standard for now. We'll move on to the build here. Okay. All right. So the build that we're going to be doing today is this keyboard here called the iF-75, or iF rather. I found that this is a board that was only made in China. It was run through Z Frontier, or one of those like their main like or like, you know, maybe through like a WeChat group or something like that. But yeah, this was run in China. I believe the company is called Castle Bravo or something like that, which is a very strange name, I think, to choose for a studio name. So yeah, it's called Castle Bravo, which is kind of weird because if I recall correctly, Castle Bravo is like, I thought it was the name of the operation with this like large ass explosion. I don't even know. But you know, yeah, when I was looking it up, I was like, huh. The first Google hit for Castle Bravo is like this explosion. It's like a high yield thermonuclear weapon design test by the United States. I mean, okay, Cold War stuff. I don't know, but such a strange name to choose. I thought. Anyway, so there's a box like this. iF-75, keep, else throw away. So it says, what if? Let's check out all the parts here. So today we're going to be going all the way, using all the foam and all that stuff. Although it's a silent build, probably because it's good for dampening anyway. So let's see. Here we have our feet, black and white, depending on what you want, and then we have gaskets. We have P foam and mid plate foam. We have, looks like case foam. It's like case foam. Nuke on the tag there too? Oh yeah, it is a nuke. I don't understand. Why is it named Castle Bravo? Why is this such an edgy name? Anyway, and then there's like a silicone pad that goes underneath. I think it goes between the PCB and the case, I think. So a lot of foam here. We have a hot swap PCB here. Hot swap PCB. Hot swap PCB is kind of neat. It does have split backspace support. It does have ANSI. And then it does have step caps lock support. It is 6.25U here and a 1U bottom row. It does have some indicators. I think that's an FN indicator, and that looks like a caps lock indicator from what it looks like. Can't tell what chip it's using. Can't read the chip text here. But anyway. Yeah, what is microcontroller? I mean, I'm assuming it's still gonna be like an Atmega or an STM. But anyway, it's very faint, can't tell. It has a ribbon cable connector. Interesting. We have an aluminum plate here. I 100% thought it was a fish at first. That's what I thought too. And then now that I see the context of Castle Bravo, I understand that it's not a fish. More like the opposite of fish. More like fish being blown out of the water. Anyway, so here we have an aluminum plate. There's a polycarb plate as well, but I was told to use the aluminum today. Am I missing something? What's this? Oh! Oh, look! We have like a tape. Is this tape mod? It looks like tape for tape mod. Okay, well, we'll do that too. We're going all the way today. So we're gonna get everything done. Alright, cool. Okay, now we get to the case here. The case has these two big... Oh, it has this big face on the back. Looks like the back of the board. Still in the plastic wrap. Oh, look at this. Okay. Let's see. Let's open it up. Interesting keyboard. Here, it looks like this is all rippable. Okay. And there's a... There's our case, and then there's a lithium-ion battery. We have a lithium-ion battery. Looks like this is Bluetooth capable then. Okay. Alright, how's the build going so far? We just started. This thing has everything and the kitchen sink, yeah. Let's see. We have a knob. We have... I have no idea what this is. We have some levers. It has a daughter board with a ribbon cable, which is also the port, by the way. It is also the USB port. It has a fingerprint scanner. That's a fingerprint scanner, pretty sure. It has a fingerprint scanner. Okay. Wow. For nude codes? Yeah, this is Boom! GG. End of the world. Okay. All right. Well, all right, cool. Let's get started. Let's test the PCB first, I guess. So I'm gonna open up the case first. Where are the screws? Oh, okay. Let's see. Wait, is this it? Hold on a second. How is this attached here? Where's the screws? On this. It was run only in China. Can't launch the missiles without prints. Is there a Keycap post for this board or somewhere else? No, I think it was run only in China. So, yeah. How am I supposed to access that? Am I supposed to just undo all this? Okay. Wait. Let me look at the piece. Huh. Hold on. Let me look for it in... Oh, yeah, I do have a link open here. So here's a link for the Z Frontier page that I saw. You guys can see it there. Yeah. Looks kind of neat. Let's see, this is the construction here. NFC module. Whoa. Interesting. Windows Hello fingerprint reader. Oh, wow. Man, this is a whole thing. There's a lot going on. It has a lot going on. Huh. Okay, cool. Cool. Alright. Where's the instructions for this? Do you have a favorite silent switches that you've tried? I like silent alpacas quite a bit. I didn't like silent inks that much, and I actually do like MX Xylants. So like MX Xylants are basically just cherry MX Silent stems inside like Zelio style housings, or like Telio if you want to put it that way too. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I need to undo the top frame. How do they... Does it just come off? Oh, it just comes off. Okay. So the top piece just comes off by friction. Wow. Okay, it's just set in by friction. Cool. And then, let's see. Let's undo some of this stuff. And we have these small screws here. Maybe I'll put this back so I don't trash the influence. There's this carbon fiber piece here. Super Switch, hello, how's it going? Moon, hello, how are you? Please no camera and board. Can't wait for a keyboard with the integrated webcam. Oh boy. What the heck is this? This has to be from a Chinese designer? Yeah, it was only run through Z Frontier, according to what I read and what I was told. It was run in China. Currently melting in this muggy island weather. Oh boy. About to hack into keyboard cam. This design is pretty out there. It definitely is pretty out there. Okay, so it has these carbon fiber spacers, where I believe is where the gaskets compress the plate down. So the gaskets will go on the case, and then the spacer, and then it will compress down on the plates and the plate tabs here. There's these two carbon fiber spacers, and then yes, there is indeed a fingerprint reader, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, all right. And these levers. Okay, given that I don't seem like I can easily remove this, can I? I don't think I can. Oh, there's screws over here too. Okay, that's the top piece that just came off. I mean, the mid piece, rather. Mid piece that just came off. Okay, so there's a bottom piece here that will hold, looks like the battery goes here. The feet go there. Okay, so now this mid piece just kind of sits here like this. Alright, so I guess I can just test the PCB here right now. Quite a lot going on here. Okay, can I just do this? Just want to make sure it works. There's a ribbon cable, which is kind of annoying because I don't like ribbon cables very much. So annoying to insert here. Maybe. Wait, does the plate just get sandwiched between the friction bit part? Yeah, it gets sandwiched between this, and the case. Okay, that got identified. Nice. So am I hacked already now? Alright, let's see. I don't think this is VIA compatible, so I'm just gonna use a switch hitter here. Wait, it's not open. That's a pretty intricate design. Yes, I'm so sorry. Like all over the place today. Does this work? Okay, that works for volume. That's cool. So right now the knob is programmed for volume. I don't know what this does, but it does something. This does something as well. It's programmed on something, but it's detected by the thing. I don't know what this is. This is page up and page down here. Backspace and the rest. Okay, so the rest should work fine. Okay, I'm just kind of winging it here. I'm gonna assume these work. Hopefully. Okay, that's currently win key because of the way my script is working here. Spacebar. Just want to know what some of these do though. Let's see. Shift. What's this? Delete. Up, down, right, left. And I assume this is a function key of some sort. It doesn't light up anything though. Control, Win, and Alt. Okay, Alt
Win, control, some sort of function key. Page up, page down. Arrows, space bar. Okay. Alright, cool. I don't know what these do though. Alright, well, there's a lot going on, but it all works, which is good. Okay, let's close that. And now okay. Come on, open up. Can't reach. Yeah, maybe I can just do it on this side. Alright, that's better. You could probably assign it to some volumes, like Chrome volume. Yeah. Something like that, I imagine, yeah. Okay. Whoop. All right, let's do stabs first. Let's see, how many do I need? I'm gonna need 1, 2, 3, and 4. We only have 3, maybe 3. I don't know. I have extras. It's fine. Let's be the leftovers. What would the description even be? Unique 75 matrix labs inspired his keyboard with a knob. That right side nav cluster was the glitch part of the image. Maybe Dolly designed this board. It's funny. This is what China can produce when they're not asked to make something for the most profit possible. Kind of out there, that's for sure. All right, let's get these done. You see, in the audio world as well, some of the wildest stuff comes out of China? No doubt. No doubt. It's also, I mean, it kind of makes sense in the sense that a lot of things can also be prototyped pretty quickly. If you're in China, because, you know, you have access to facilities a lot more quickly. So that kind of does help. And yeah, when you don't have restrictions, of course, like, kind of a money no object kind of situation. Sci-fi? Is that what people call it? Like Audio God made a monoblock amp. It's 10k USD. Oh my god, $10,000 to power a singular speaker, but they use the best parts from all over the world and is regarded as one of the best amps ever made. I see. $10,000, holy moly. That's definitely something like almost like a proof of concept kind of thing. It's kind of it exists for the sake of existing. You know? They're also cocky them to call themselves Audio God. Yeah, I guess so. Self-proclaimed. Don't remember anybody in the keyboard community who called themselves God in some form that was a good person. That I know, anyway. Do you guys know anybody? I don't. God of keyboards? You? Please. I am the Nacho God. Keep God. Oh boy. If I ever call myself like something related to keyboards like that, I would never pick Keep God. What a god awful nickname to pick. Keep God. Ugh. Keep. Ugh. It's going to stick now? Oh dear lord. Anything with keep on it is it definitely sounds just very, I don't know what it is with the word keep when people pronounce like, you know, say like keyboard keep for short. It kind of sounds I don't know what it is. Like it sounds almost like a childish kind of like a kid would kind of sort of say like, "Oh, it's not a keyboard, it's keep," you know? Like it's like a shortened version, so it's like, I don't know, it sounds like a kid would say that or something. It's just the way it sounds, I guess. It's the ending syllable or the ending sound. Keep. Why? It's keep. Sounds like TikTok. Diego Keyboard-sama. No, not quite. Gok defends the New Zealand keyboard community. He sure does. Those who don't know Kinchi know. Those who don't. New license plate idea. Keep God. Oh my god. Bet not even Eminem has Rap God on his license plate. Does he? Time to start doing anime voiceovers as a side gig. If only that were a doable thing. I don't even know where that would even start. That would be kind of hella fun though. Voiceovers, like a voice acting role. That sounds kind of fun in a semi-professional way. But I mean, I feel like if it's a full career, it's super busy and crazy and super underwhelming in some regards. I actually don't know too much about it. Oh boy, there's a clip. There's one Valorant pro player that calls himself God Dead. I laugh out loud every time I see it. Are they good? Maybe God Dead is just a reference to Nietzsche. Yeah, Nietzsche's like philosophy. Nietzsche. I can't pronounce that word for some reason. Would they kill off your character and you don't have a job anymore? Oh boy. Yeah, that sounds pretty awful. As a voice actor, you know? I mean, I'm sure there's other ways to audition, but it's just like any actor roles. Like, you have to audition for things, and it's a very competitive world out there. It just sounds really awful in that regard. Super, super competitive, super harsh. I mean, like most performing arts, I would say. Performing arts are just really rough in general. I know people who are in dancing, acting, and yeah, it's not an easy career. Banned for saying the truth. Grab their Meridian and a meet this weekend. I have been enjoying it. Nice. The Meridian is a very, very nice board in my opinion. I was using mine last week and it was super good. Just gotta get nicer keycaps for it. Sweet. Fortunately, a lot of stuff in stock nowadays, so not too difficult to get some nice keycaps. Perfect. It's the other way around, I think. Can't wait for my Tiger Light. Nice. That's the KOD fans board, right? Is that what it is? Tiger 80. Heard good things about it. Never seen it, but heard good things. The most famous VA I've met is the lady who did Korra in Avatar: Legend of Korra. Ooh, that's cool, Peaches. That's pretty awesome. This bot is cooked? Oh yeah? There's a lot of VAs on Cammy, it's kind of cool. Also, yeah, another thing about being a voice actor is the fact that unless people are interested in voice acting specifically, like the people behind the characters, not everybody will know who you are because you kind of never really show a face, you know? So there's that. That's nice though. Oh yes, part of it is nice though because you maintain privacy. But I do think that unfortunately with the performing arts, a little bit of a recognition does come from people knowing who you are. And obviously making quality work with high profile kind of performance. But that said, it's not like it's easy to land gigs. Good gigs. Unless it's in Japan, they idolize VA. I mean, yeah, it's like a whole school of, you know, it's a whole career industry. Like it's very developed in Japan. There definitely is a lot of admiration for it. So. For the successful cases, especially. You can get money without the hassle that comes with fame? Partially true, yes. I mean, same with being somebody on any kind of back-end kind of role, or even like a service role that works behind the scenes or behind something, you know? Not a public, like, facing role, right? I mean, there's a lot of roles like that. But, yeah. Definitely true, you're not wrong about that. I mean, it can be a pretty cushy kind of thing if you do make a successful career out of it. Not that it's any easy, but yeah. Is it Yoshi that got the VA pretty much a life contract? Very cutthroat industry? Yeah, I can't imagine it's... I mean, any kind of acting, performing kind of industry like that is very cutthroat by nature. It's just it's a very demanding job. It's like you have to follow that director's or that particular author's kind of image or whatever it's going to be. And if you know, they're looking for like the one kind of person, so it's kind of tough. Can't fit in the stereotype all the time either, because you have competitors and also, you know, saturation. All right. So let's see, for my lacking knowledge of PE foam stuff, I believe the PE foam goes in first. Like so. Oh, I guess I should also cut these guys out. Unless you get weaves on your side, entertainment industry is always cutthroat. Yeah. Bound to be. If you voice a 200-year-old dragon girl that looks like a child, basically you can't lose your... Yeah, fair. Fair game. Okay. And then I guess we can put the tape thing now. Let me see the orientation of this. Okay, it's like this. Oh wait. Well, it's okay. Actually, put some of those. Let's test and put those shims first. I'll do that shortly. Let's do that later. So let's see. Mid foam here. Space for caps lock. Okay. Where do you buy your lube in such a big jar, or is that a bunch of smaller ones that you pour into a bigger jar? I worked out an agreement. Basically, I work with vendors who supply 205 grade 0. So specifically, I work with, like, you know, previously I bought a large amount of lube from switchmod.net. I just talked to Krellbit and I was like, hey, like, I need a lot of lube. Can I source a lot of lube all at once? And what's the price? And basically, I pay whatever. Yeah, it's basically the same price as you paying for the small jar times however much, as much as you need essentially. But yeah, I pretty much just pay for a certain amount, and just put that. And the jars I just bought from like Amazon. I just looked on Amazon for like cosmetic, like product jars. But the thing is, this tape is kind of weird in the sense that I can't put this mid foam without putting the tape on it first because the tape kind of pastes to the PCB. Okay, alright. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna test the stabs on their own. If they're fine, I'm just gonna go ahead and put the, see that bent, the pin. Put the tape thingy around. Was just thinking that 5-10 ml jars create a lot of waste if you go through lube quick. Yes, it does create a lot of waste if you go through it quickly. Yes, yeah, it will. So that's why I just order a large amount, because I know I'm going to go through it in, like, you know, over time. So yeah, I just get a large amount at a time and then don't restock until I'm close to running out again. I've done that a few times now. One day we might be a bigger industry that might be able to buy in bigger tubs to reduce waste. I mean, the thing is, you can buy in tubs if you want. You can buy it from the supplier if you really want it. Like 205 grade 0, you can buy it from the supplier if you want. It's just the problem is it's a large amount. Like, you're required to buy like kilograms worth. So yeah, that's gonna last you like a lifetime. So obviously, that's the only thing. You would have to split it up or something. So, but yeah, so bigger quantity jars, like, I'm sure it's doable, but for the most part, like, there's no person that needs that much. Yeah. Yo, Jerk Chicken. Yo, what's up, dude? It's been forever. How you doing, man? Alright, I don't hear any ticking, so that's already a good sign. Whoop. Look at what happens without putting the shims on. Alright, let's put those shims on first. The TX Stab shims. Oop. Where can I find more information about this board? I posted up a link earlier. Let me repost that. But on Z Frontier, pretty much. I mean, this board was sold through Z Frontier. It seems it was like Chinese. It's like a Chinese company, and they only sold it there. So there's no like Western, like there's no information in English specifically. Oh, thank you, Lana. But yeah. Alright, there it is. Alright, now I can put this thing here. Stuff this all this stuff here. How am I supposed to reach into this thing? Alright, there it is. And then go ahead with the foam. $20 grams of 205 grade 0 is plentiful. Yeah, 20 grams is already quite a bit. So if you're not wrong, Peaches, I mean, you can just buy a couple of vials and it should last you quite some time for most people. So I do agree it is not for most people to buy a lot of it. It is kind of wasteful, probably. Just start donut dipping your switches. Problem with donut dipping is it just kind of sounds bad, doesn't it? You gotta dip the entire assembled switch? Oh god. I'll have 30 gram of it and would never finish using it. Oh yeah, just like lubing switches and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of hard. So I'm assuming the client is using silence here because they're taking this to work. This board. I guess it's kind of useful for work, huh? Now that I think about it. Or their Krellbit? Oh, like liking silent switches? I guess so. Yeah, some people do like silent switches more than anything else. So yeah. For work, they can just hear me clack. That's fair. The only way to assert dominance. It might make you the cool person in the office, or the most annoying person. Who knows? That being said, I work from home and go to the office like 5 days a year. Oh, well, that's very different, yeah. I won't use long pole switches at work, but everything else is fair game. I mean, I know people who have like, you know, MX Blues or whatever, like, you know, at offices, so kind of no excuses. I mean, I'm talking about, of course, an office that allows you to, first of all, even have outside peripherals at work, because a lot of places you can't because of IT like, you know, IT rules and stuff, like just like not letting you have the clearance for any kind of peripherals outside from outside. So, but yeah, for the place that let it, like I know a lot of people who just use like clickies or like pretty loud switches and stuff. So yeah, I feel like most things are fair game in those cases. This is why I set the far corner in the office. I mean, even the provided membranes can actually be a little bit louder. It depends on the board actually. There's some boards that are kind of like rackety. I like to imagine what offices sounded like when everybody had Model M's, or even just typewriters, like wheelwriters, typewriters, right? Like there was a time when a lot of offices just had typewriters. Thoughts on ACO switches? Are overrated or underrated? I've kind of seen a mix of people liking ACO switches and not liking them, so I would say like somewhere along the middle. I would say neither overrated nor underrated, because I feel like there's probably both sides of it. But I personally stick to the more known brands. Personally, I stick to Cherry or Gateron for the most part. JWK is okay. Like JWK and Kale and like, you know, some of the other brands are fine. Tamu, and I mean they've become better over time too. But yeah, I think like as far as like reliable and good switches, I think Gateron's really good. Generally pretty solid. And then like Cherry, it's a bit of a mixed bag, but people like Cherry. But yeah, I tend to be a pretty big fan of Gateron switches, generally speaking. And I do like my modified Cherry stuff, so like Lube berry stuff that is to my liking. My office is quiet enough that clicky switches would probably annoy people. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, some offices just, yeah, really quiet. So have to know what your environment's like. Have to know how to read the room, I guess. Also, do I even have enough switches here? Hello? Was I sent enough switches? Okay, I guess I don't have enough switches. Alright, great. What? Why do I not have enough switches? Gonna yell at somebody. Just kidding. I'm not gonna yell at anybody, but I'm just gonna be like, hey, you're missing switches, by the way. FYI. Alright, I guess I will need... since this is hot swap, at least it's very easy to put switches on. Or like replace switches. So I'm just gonna replace some of the ones that I probably will never use, like some of the Afro stuff. So maybe I'll just replace some of the, I mean, like, let's see. So I'm gonna need 2 of them for the side cluster, which I think is soldered. So I'm just gonna forcibly use one of these guys. And then, so 2 here. So I'm missing 5 switches. Okay. 5 switches. Alright, so let's just do F9 through F12. I'll just, I mean F8 through F12, I'll just run something else for now. Just put some placeholders. Someone can't math? Yeah, I think they might have just miscounted or something. Probably. Some people just smash cheap memory boards and make them loud as hell. Yeah. Yeah, I know people like this. I mean, not that I experience it anymore, but I've known people like this, yeah. Alright. I'm just gonna put some placeholder switches here. I don't know what I have here in this bag here. Oh, I guess I'll just put some CJs. Alright, this works. I was just some Gateron CJs for now. I just have enough of them, so I'm just gonna put them here for now. When math is 5 hard, yeah, can happen. Alright, so that's the switches. So that's cool. So gaskets, I guess. So let's see, gaskets. Alright, so there are gaskets on this and then on this thing, but I think what I'm gonna do is, okay, let's just blow some air here. Get rid of some of the dust there. Alright, so I'm gonna put the gaskets on this first. There's so many gaskets, I wouldn't be surprised if it was waterproof. Yeah. There definitely are quite a few. Oh my god, how many are there? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13? Oh my. Oh, and then the other side? Brother. Brother, 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 brother. Why not just make it a whole one line of like one strip, one gigantic strip at this point? Oh my god. It's okay. I'm kind of fast doing this, at least. I'm not too slow at this. I've done this many times before. Oh, this one's a little more gasket, more better, more meta. I can never get one long gasket straight. I mean, that is for sure. I mean, that is definitely true. Like, getting one single gasket all straight is pretty difficult. Oh, is there music playing at all? Sorry. Whoop, just like that one. Okay, there it is. And then, so I'm not plugging in anything just yet. I just need to line things up so I know where to put them. So these guys kind of go on this strip here. The reason I'm gonna put them on this strip instead of on the plate itself is that there are 2 plates provided. So in case this person wants to switch out the plate or something, they can do that. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna place the gaskets like upside down in this slot, kind of like this, and then I'm gonna press the strip on top in a bit. It's kind of hard to tell where the midpoint of these little strips is. Ahoy, Thog Thumbs, hello. Are you still missing 2 switches? Yeah, so these guys go in the other little PCB that's supposed to be solderable. So I'm just gonna do that in a bit before I wrap it all up. The reason I'm doing the gaskets now is just so I can get them done now and not worry about it later. And then I'm gonna work backwards through the rest of the assembly. Yeah. Oh, shit. Stop sticking to my finger. There we go. Kind of weird to have 2 solder switches on the hot swap board. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I'm kind of assuming they ran out of space, so the footprint of a hot swap socket maybe was a little too much for whatever else they wanted to put on this. Which, I don't know, I mean, it's very gimmicky in a way, because there's so many little things going on there. But alas, that is whatever they decided to do. So yeah, that's what we get here. Alright, there we go, our big brain gasket placement. Boom. Like, it's hot swap but not those 2, so I could be using solder friendo. I know, it's a very weird choice. It's like kind of like assuming that they're just gonna have to solder anyway, so it's really more like a soldering kit, but it's hot swaps for the convenience of it. I don't know. Hot swapping. Yeah. IDK.
Allows you to say you soldered your board for the Reddit points, I guess.
I guess. I suppose so. If that's a commendable thing, then yes, sure. I don't know. It's a strange thing to me. There we go. Alright, there we have our strips. Alright, cool. So gaskets are done. Now let's go back to the bottom of the case and do the rest of the stuff here. So let's see. So we have this top case, which we can say put separately for now. So let's go to the back of the case here. So this is the bottom of the case. It holds these little accents that kind of make a face. It's kind of cute. So it looks like the battery goes here and then gets connected here. So what I'm gonna do is, it comes with this adhesive. I think I can just do it this way. Okay. And then attach my battery here. Okay. Alright, and then let's go back to that mid piece over here. So back to this mid piece over here. So basically this thing goes here like that. But let's do these little two switches that are supposed to be soldered. So we'll just put this switch here and this switch here, making sure it goes through the pins. Alright, just gently place that aside for now. And then solder these two switches. I don't know why just two switches, but it is just two switches to solder. Anti-solder, I knew I hated Reddit a bit, but I didn't know it was fucking bad. RMK thing is someone to shit years ago. Reddit Hive Mind. Reddit Hive Mind definitely a thing. I mean, that kind of applies to pretty much every big internet place, right? But yeah, definitely the sub has grown so much that it's kind of, you're gonna have a pretty big difference in opinions no matter what you say, what you do, kind of thing. So that's not surprising at all. It's only two switches, so I'm not gonna run a fan here. Alright, that's done. Star Fox SNES, love your Mode Sonic build stream YouTube video. I picked one up. Oh, thank you so much for the kind words, Star Fox SNES. I hope you enjoy the board. If you have gotten it, but if you haven't, I hope you get it soon and that you'll enjoy it when it arrives. Alright, so those are the switches here. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place this like that. And I assume this cable runs this way and plugs in here. But let me see what the orientation of this is supposed to be. Okay, it looks like it should run this way. Okay. That's how the connector goes. And
What
then... Oh, Baby Rage, what's up? Hey, Baby Rage. How you doing, man? It's been a while. Not too long, but it's been a little. Hope you're doing alright. Alright, let's put these screws in from the corners. Things in place. I hate the whole ass website. They can't figure out how to have a working thread system that works properly. This goes for Reddit. I don't even need Redditors to hate Reddit. Yeah, I don't... Definitely the page... I mean, I have to say, I also don't read Reddit that much anymore. There is a time... So I feel like I use Reddit for searching stuff up, right? I look stuff up on Reddit, but I don't go on Reddit to, like, browse it daily kind of thing, you know? It seems so... I don't know, it's like a lot. Okay. Screws. Is that humming in the background the AC? Yeah, it is the AC. Oh. Oh, I see. I see the noise suppression hasn't been on. I can do the noise suppressing. Here. Noise suppression should be better. But it is my AC though. Because the AC is pretty loud. Alright. Okay, that does it. And now... Doing great. Nice screw holders you got there. Thank you, thank you. Alright, so that's the mid piece. And then cables connected. And more cables. Oh, shoot. Baby Rage. Hello. Wow. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Darn. Thank you. I misplug this in here. Should go like that instead. Oh my gosh. These ribbon cables, man. Dash, Scaly, she gotta hate ribbon cables. Same. I don't like ribbon cables much. They're just so finicky, man. Hold on. Let me check something real quick. I feel like I didn't get the orientation right here. Oh wait, that orientation seems correct then. This orientation, the original way it was in. Okay. Wait. go. Alright, you can put this thing in now. It kind of goes in like that. With tweezer, it's easier. Yeah, tweezers are definitely easier to put the cables in. That's for sure. Alright. There's it. Alright, let's just test the PCB that it works first. Just make sure it's working. Let's see. Okay, plug it in. Huh? That doesn't work. Maybe I mistakenly put it in the wrong orientation. Let me see. Not working yet? No. Is that the orientation? Hold on. Oh, this ribbon cable. Okay, hold on. See, how did I did it this time? Oh, I see. I did change the orientation here a bit. It's one like this at first. Come on, just slide in. Oh, God. Yo, ribbon cables. What a struggle bus here. I'm the one struggling though. Skill issue for sure. There we go. Huh, weird. Is it because of the battery? So it lights up here, but there's no keyboard being protected. Okay, so that works, but this doesn't work. Let me see. I'll unplug the battery for a second. I hear the plugging in sound. Oh, weird. First time I can watch you live. Oh, I haven't doomed you? No, it's okay, bloody Alice. I got a McDonald's ad and now I'm hungry. Oh no. It must be the ribbon cable not being plugged in, right? Like, that's literally the only reason why this wouldn't work. Let me see what I did earlier. I had the ribbon cable like that, and then I just plugged it in. Which side did I use for that? Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay, I see. Maybe I messed it up because I didn't put in the right orientation here. Nope. You tried the rain dance? And it's supposed to work, right? Alright, hold on. Let me trace myself back for a second. Alright. You have to flip the ribbon cable itself? Yeah, so, yeah, I think I'm gonna flip the ribbon cable itself too. So maybe do it this way. Maybe I made a mistake here. Yeah, I think I screwed up the orientation when I unplugged it earlier by accident. So I think I just inverted the orientation. Good thing it doesn't like fry anything up. Alright, there we go. That should do it. Alright, there it is. Alright, cool. Oh, did I... Oh. Is this a play button? Oh, this is play. Play, pause. Or play, pause. That's a next song or reverse song. It's like these are media keys. Oh, I see what it is. I see why earlier it stopped the music. Oh, okay. So they're programmed for media for now. That's good to know. Okay. Oh, that's that. Now we can just plug this in. Oh, that's kind of neat. Okay, I see. So you guys remember how I told you that this is like the top piece is kind of like friction fit to the mid piece? It's because these screws, like the screws themselves, have these little round cylinders like around them. So basically they serve as like alignment pins for it. And essentially the case just sits on top of that. I see, I see. That's cool. And then put all these on first. Alright, that's that. And then last piece is just this guy on top. Sorry about the mismatch switches here. Oh wait, this way. Like that. And then the bottom, should I do white or black bonbons? I think black probably will look better. Do black on this. Like anti-skating pads. kind of sits on this anyway. So this is truly peak China. It definitely has all these features, yeah. Like, so these are media keys. This is a fingerprint scanner of sorts. I don't know how it works specifically. I wonder if I have to remove the little thingy here. And then yeah, page up, page down, volume control, some NFC thing. But yeah, also I don't have anything that requires fingerprint scanning, so I can't really test it. But yeah. All right, let's put some keycaps on this. Let's see. Oh, should we try putting some of that, do you guys remember that Minecraft enchanting table set from Novel Keys? The spellbook set? We could try that. If you guys don't remember, I'll show you which one it is. Or we also have a bunch of nice PvP sets also that I have over here. Give me a sec, I'll be right back, okay? Okay, so I'm back, and so there was this key set called PBT Cherry PBT Spellbook. That was in this nice box, and it had beige keycaps with these like runes or whatever, which someone commented was from like an enchanting table. There's also the Monarchy Series 1, white on black, that I have here. No shot, that's Minecraft enchantment table? Okay, I don't know, to be honest. All I know is something related to spell casting, so there's that. I'm just going by what somebody else said last time, but whatever it is. I like those colors, simple beige with colored legends. Yeah, I think it's a pretty nice set, to be honest. Yeah, let's try this out. I think it's a pretty cool set. Let's see, 6.25 use space bar. Yeah, it's on sale at Novel Keys right now. They released like last week, so it's a pretty recent set. We did get this is like a sample unit that I got to show you guys before that they went on sale. Like I think I showed it when they had arrived. Oh, these CJs are stock. Huh, okay, whatever. You guys can hear some stock switches on this. It is Minecraft enchantment table? Okay, there it is then. Pretty cool though, I think. They're stock too? Yeah, they're in stock. This is a cherry huey tea from Novelties, so. Oh, they're stock? No, the Sakurios are lubed. Just the CJs that I had to put in. Because those are the ones that I remember I was missing 5 switches. Yeah, the Sakurios are lubed. It's just the 5 missing switches. I could put in anything else though. I could put in like GAT. Like, I'm just putting in switches from this bag, random bag of switches that I hear. So these switches are like leftover switches from previous builds. Like either like from review units or like personal builds. Basically switches of mine that I just have like you know, spares of stuff. So that's why I grabbed 5 CJs because I just happen to have 5 CJs in there, but otherwise, yeah. The garbage drawer bag? Yeah, kinda. Hello Diego, how's your day? Ninewalker, how's it going? I'm doing okay. To be honest, a little bit tired from the traveling, but otherwise okay. Oh, this set actually really nice. It looks really good on this. It actually kind of fits this build particularly well. Nice fit. Let's see. Oh, we have a bunch of novelties, I guess. We can use some novelties here. This is R1. Meteor, kind of. Not cute. And then arrow keys. Oh, I forgot the enter, didn't I? Okay. Let's see. I like how this is basically Minecraft tulip. It's pretty nice. I do like the concept of this set in general. Pretty nice. I mean, I think the theme is well picked out. I think that's what it is. It's a very well picked out theme. Yeah, no, Bub did a pretty good job with this. Bub, I think, is the same person who did GMT panels, right? So, yeah. Alright. Let's, put a cap on this. Let's see, something that goes with that. Maybe I could do like an accent instead. But I think I'm gonna use the feeling like doing either the squatch here. That looks nice with it. Okay, I'm gonna go with this. Yeah, I think that looks good. Alright, there we go. Let's see. So wait, does this pause my music then? Oh, it does. Nice. Alright. Move it over. Alrighty, here we have it, our build done. This is the iF-75 from Castle Bravo Studio in China. This currently has all the foam that's included. So there's P foam, there's mid-plate foam, there is like a case silicone thingy, and right now we have some TX stabs and some Sakurios that were lubed. Yeah, this has capability for some NFC thing. It has some media keys here, like fingerprint scanner, has a knob for volume if you want. So kind of neat. And yeah, so this right now aluminum plate for the build, and some lubed Sakurios that were lubed and filmed. Alright, so this is a Cherry PVT spellbook. If you haven't seen, it's on Novel Keys. It went in stock last week, and we're gonna give it a shot. Oh wait, it's not this window, it's this window. Okay. Alright. Here you go.
pretty nice. I mean, it's very quiet, of course, because these are Sakurios, so you can't expect it to be any loud. But it's pretty nice and consistent. The switches are pretty well lubed, I think. So it does sound nice with the absence of sound, I suppose. And here are the mods and the rest. Oh, it's a smooth knob here. These guys are some stock GAT CJs. These are back to the Sakurios. And there it is. That's pretty much what it sounds like. Well, or thereof lack of sound. But yeah, there it is. I think the layout is kind of interesting. I do think this LED is like an indicator for charging. I think that's what it is. And I think the layout is like, it's like a 660, right? It's like a 660 but a 75 basically layout. It's like the 660 version plus the F-row, right? So it's kind of functional layout wise. I mean, it even has like this is the play key, I think. This is like the media key here. So you can play the music like that. And you can pause it and play it, stop it, which is kind of neat. I can raise the volume for things. I can change the music here. This is just page up and page down. But yeah, a little different from other things that I've seen before. Is that a screen? No, this is actually like a fingerprint scanner. Right now it has like a protector on it, but yeah, it's like a fingerprint scanner. So yeah, I don't know how it's usable yet, so that's something I probably just need to mess around with. Haven't figured it out. But yeah, fingerprint scanner apparently. Very unique, that's for sure. Yeah, I do agree with that. It's pretty unique. It's definitely a little different. Just in time to say hello. Oh, hello, Abstraction. How are you? Spellbook looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It's a very nice set. I mean, it's just standard beige. It's like these. I guess it's like a purple legends. But yeah, it's a pretty cool looking key set, I think. I like it personally. I like how this key set looks. So it's a pretty nice set. It's like, yeah, it's like a unique version of a beige for sure. Conjure, alt, blur, alter, transpose, flux, slow, cast, evocate. Oh yeah, this is a pretty nice key set. I actually do really like it. And this is what the board looks like up close, kind of from the top, from the side. From the bottom, it's interesting. The bottom is held up by these like weight aluminum pieces, basically. Like these aluminum pieces prop it up. And it's like a face. Kind of unique, right? So, yeah. And there's a USB port. The USB port is on the right side, which is a little different. I mean, it's like right in between the nav cluster here.
or rather this macro cluster here and the rest here, and there's these two lever kind of keys, which I guess you can probably program. I don't know how this is programmable yet. I mean, it's definitely not QMK, I think. I mean, maybe it is, but I haven't figured it out yet. Yeah, and then there's like a fingerprint scanner. I assume I need to install some kind of drivers for it. But Sakurios are the silent Zeals, right? Yes, these are the silent linears from ZealPC. Yeah, they're pretty nice. Linear silence from ZealPC. From silent switches, I do like the Sakurios quite a lot. They're very quiet when they're looped. Kind of like MX Silence are like that too. And I also really like how like silent alpaca sound, at least in my experience. But yeah, I think for silent switches, these are definitely a good pick if they're lubed. Recolored Helios, yeah, pretty much. When will silent stabs be a thing? I don't know. I mean, you can do it technically. You can silence the stabs if you want. Like, you can do Band-Aid mod, or you can put tape on the underneath of the inserts. And on the upstroke, yeah, they're not padded, so you will hear a little bit of the plastic, I guess. But yeah. But I guess you could like pad the insert somehow. Yeah, I don't know what this indicator is for. Maybe it's just for it to like a turn on sign. I don't know, power LED. But I don't know what all these LEDs are for. Not sure what they're supposed to do. But yeah, I think this is an indicator for the battery, which I assume is for this. I don't know. Can't figure out the function of the battery here yet. Just because I don't know what the programmability and whatnot is like for this one. Easy solution, build ergodox, no stabs. Okay, TP4 tissue. Okay. I see you, TP. If you don't know who TP is, though, it's okay. Do you know who TP is? TP4 tissue? It's a funny guy from Keycap, off topic. He's a very long-term member of Keycap. The legend. So yeah, we checked out this board today. We also checked out the standard earlier, which I'll be taking this guy, the standard, to the New York Meetup. Just completely stock cherry reds. If you wanted to try it, if you're there. But yeah, that's what this is like. And this is like super quiet. But yeah, so that's pretty much today's build. I don't really have anything else for today. Let's see what's coming up. So there are some other builds coming up. There is a Juby coming up. I'm going to be building the AIO3 Vector at some point pretty soon. I will announce details on that later. I'm still like, I just need to loop switches. But I might put some of those ultramarine switches that I will send. Sure, just like standard Durock linears. But yeah. And then this is it Saturday? Yeah, this Saturday I'm definitely streaming this Saturday, and that Saturday we'll probably cover we're going to cover this this macro pad basically from Keycaps, and so it's called the, let me show you here, the 0XC pad by Keycaps, and let me see, and SOL S-OL. But yeah, it basically has it has low profile switches and a hexagonal like keycaps. I posted the link over here. And basically it's going to be this macro pad just to show. First time using low profile switches for me, it'll be if we do that. So that'll be this Saturday. And then we'll probably do like some keyboard builds after that as well. I think I might give away that pad, that macro pad as well. So or like one unit like from like some local vendor that they have already stocked to, because they will be like selling them in stock at some point very soon. So I think I'll be giving one of those away on stream. It might be like marbles or something like that. So come by on Saturday for that. And yeah. And then I have some other builds. I will eventually be building the DD40 from DD Decline and Canon Keys. I'll eventually be building the Brutal 65 V2 from Canon Keys. I also have a few key code builds. There's a few commissions. There's also my personal board that I eventually build. And then also in the early part of this month, we're also going to be doing the Dodgy Seisero prototype once again. We did it one time before, but I'll be getting a unit again to build up pretty soon, to prep for the group buy that's going to be happening for that pretty soon. And yeah, and I'll get to show you guys more about that later on. Yeah, more Seisero. Pretty nice. And then eventually, I want to show you. Actually, wait. Oh, never mind. I don't have it here. It hasn't arrived. Then eventually, I'll also have the Thika rubber hose, the densest designs KLC board, later on. Once that's ready. And I believe Alchemy is also sending out their 60% later on, which they're currently prototyping and working on finishing and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much the upcoming content for like the next month-ish. That should pretty much cover the next 3 weeks. So yeah, you'll see a lot of content in the next few weeks. Mostly just like a bunch of proto builds and whatnot. So yeah. But yeah, otherwise, other than that, I'll be bringing this Monarchy standard. The New York Meetup is on, let me see, when is the New York City Meetup again? I forget what the date was. I signed up, but I already forgot what the date was. The New York City Meetup, I believe, is on the 17th, Saturday 17th. It's a pretty small meetup. It's supposed to be like a small, like 75 people-ish meetup. Just like a small event for now. I think they're like testing out the venue, and they're also just like, you know, trying to get something together for locals. But that meetup will be on the 17th. If you already signed up for it, then I'll see you there. But that's going to be downtown, like in 24th Street or something like that. But I'll be bringing this Monarchy standard and maybe like one of my personal boards. And yeah. Tickets are sold out, but folks can join the waitlist. I see. Yeah, join the waitlist. It doesn't hurt because a lot of people don't show up as well. And yeah. So yeah, just join the waitlist just in case. If you can make it out. I'm going to wine in Gloucester in September 10th. Oh, that's pretty soon too. Oh, Big Macs and Onions, you're nearby? That's pretty nice. I mean, maybe I'll see you sometime.
Alright, well, I think I'll probably wrap it up here, as I don't have any more news for y'all. But we can see who we can raid now. Let's see who's live. I see Mr. Jang doing Legos again. I see Gioran doing some lubing cables to chill and chat, he says. I see Miss Patty, Shinjin Wang doing XX dubs, doing some raids. Mechs on deck! Ooh, Mechs on deck. Let's go raid Mechs on deck. We haven't raided Mechs on deck in a while. Oh, I also see Yura is streaming. And Tio Tecladitos as well. Trying to assemble a midway 60 as well. But yeah, let's go raid Mechs on deck. They showed a lot of support for us that time before they raided a few times, and then they also hosted as part of the Kanki's meetup, and so let's go return that favor. Did Yura ever finish the handwire build? Yes, after a lot of hours, she actually did finally finish the handwire build. She posted about it on Instagram. I think not sure if stories or if a post, but yeah, she posted about it on Instagram that she had finished a very lengthy build on the handwire stuff. So maybe if you want to stop by her stream, you can do that as well. All right, let's go say hello. Let's say thank you, Mechs on deck, for a wonderful panel at the Canon Keys Meetup. Heart. Let's do that for our raid message. Again, everybody, thank you again for coming by. I'll probably see you guys on Thursday or Friday, and then I'll see you guys again on Saturday. And then I'm probably gonna be off for Labor Day weekend, so probably won't see you on Sunday, maybe, but probably not. Probably will be busy on Sunday, and then maybe I'll see you on Monday, but we'll see. Alright, friends. I'll catch you all on the next one in a few days. I'll see you then. Take care. Have a good rest of your night and week. I'll catch you later.